Hi there, I'm Phobos. Thanks for watching my channel. This video on figure drawing is the first and probably one of the most crucial. I'll cover simplification and comparative measures in this video. By simplification, I mean abstraction, which is the technique we employ to enable us to visualize the topic of our work in this most basic form. We do it to enable ourselves to detach from the specifics of the figure. We frequently have the tendency to believe that adding details will improve the appearance of the drawing, but in reality, details are useless without the proper proportions. I'll walk you through the first steps. In order to have more control over positioning and size of our drawing, we first draw a rectangle to define our drawing area. Second, we look for the center of the figure. By doing this, we might capture the relationship and inclination between the torso and pelvis, as well as some of the post gesture. Thirdly, we abstract the figure and attempt to enclose it in the simplest shape possible, as seen here. Before moving on to the step I'm going to demonstrate next, I advise you to practice this one a few times. Repeating the first steps I previously demonstrated, we create a rectangle based on the overall form of the figure. It's okay to draw outside the rectangle. Its purpose is to give us the broad feeling of space and shape, not to include the entire figure. Second, we look for the center of the figure. By doing this, we might capture the relationship and inclination between the torso and pelvis, as well as some of the post gesture. Now we draw the most basic form of the figure, just like this. We also draw light, because if we are producing a final drawing, this will be our base. Therefore, if we make a mistake, it's fine to redraw that line without erasing it. We now measure using the directions and inclinations principle. Begin with a line for the shoulders and hips, making sure the inclinations are correct. Following that, we look for inclinations on the limbs and the head, and begin to see which directions the silhouette cuts. Remember that sketching the contour of the figure will result in a lumpy and rigid drawing. We strive to see just the directions. The goal of this exercise is to practice a concept rather than do a complete drawing. We may also compare the distance from one portion to another by drawing lines and observing the directions of those lines, as well as the distance at which another component of the figure begins or finishes. This is referred to as comparative measures. Drawing a figure in this manner just takes a few minutes. If you do this workout on a daily basis, your results will improve significantly. And last but not least, we look for the image negative space, employing abstraction to view it as a real figure. This is another method of measuring that blends in with the others. Look for the negative space to see the figure. In the example I'm making, I made a mistake in the drawing. Can you find it? By the conclusion of the video, I will show you how to use negative space to fix any mistakes you made in the previous steps. Rather than focusing on drawing the body, always draw simple forms. Then, following the process I described before, work your way down from large to little. I choose to start with this exercise since it may really assist beginners to improve their drawings rapidly and lay a solid basis to expand on. Because this practice helps to develop our sense of space, line, proportions, and many other things, it's a great starting point that may assist a lot before beginning to study gesture, structure, or anatomy. But don't worry, I will go through them in the next videos. As you can see here, I made a mistake in the left arm, but after looking at the negative space more closely, I was able to recognize it. Then, using the previous stages as a guide, I traced the arm directions correctly and continued to double check the negative space. Because everything around us can be reduced to simple forms, and everything contains negative space and comparable measures, this is a drawing method that can be applied to everything. This is also a wonderful practice for any artist who wants to improve his measurement abilities and accuracy. Next week, I will show you some examples of this activity and walk you through the process step by step. But I recommend you to practice these ideas on your own before viewing the step-by-step video next week. You will have a better understanding of what it's like and will be able to get more information from it. You will know what to look for and can compare what you did to what I do. To quickly summarize, first we focus on synthesis and abstraction to draw the figure in its more basic form. Then we draw the midsection and direction for the shoulders, pelvis, and limbs. After that, we use straight lines to compare and measure the figure, at the same time using negative space as a guide. With practice, you will be able to do them all at the same time. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button and get notified when new ones are released. Goodbye!